the sun is just starting to climb up over the treetops. And it's gonna be a beautiful day, that's plain to see.
Welcome to Bill Dance Outdoors, America's most popular and longest running TV fishing show.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Whoa, Dora. Looking for spinnerbaits. You know where they are? Spinnerbaits, spinnerbaits, there they are. Spinnerbaits, 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 laser eyes. You know, I guess you can tell from our title what our show is all about today. Yep, it's all about questions you've sent in, and I'm gonna do my doggone best to answer every deadgum one of them to the best of my ability as we fish along today. Like this one right here. Of all the soft plastic lures used on the Carolina rig, what's the most popular? Well, believe it or not, most of them will work, but the most popular used is the plastic lizard. Ooh. Hit it right at the boat. Strong fish, boy. Strong fish. You got double hooked, didn't you? What are you thinking, huh? Thinking you want to go home? I'm gonna let you. Bye-bye. Okay, here's one about sight and sound. Would you not agree two of the most important factors in attracting a big bass are action and sound? In attracting a big bass, action and sound are paramount. Those two things are most important. First of all, smell and sound are important, but not nearly as important as sight. A bass may hear an offering, but he needs to see it to eat it, and action is the key. When fishing for really big bass, it's smart to curtail all noises that are abnormal to fish. Surprisingly, this includes many of those lures that shake, rattle, and roll. Sure, giant-sized bass will strike a noisy lure intentionally, simply because of its protective instinct. However, I honestly believe lures that make no noise and can be worked slowly, like plastic worms, tubes, lizards, grubs, crawfish, jigs, with plastic attractors, and creature baits are much more effective on huge bass. Lures that create no negative cues, like the ones mentioned, have less chance of rejection because the bass relies on what its eyes tell it, not what its eyes or ears relate. When I think back of the really big bass that I've been fortunate enough to catch, most have been caught on quiet, slow-moving baits. Bottom line is, you only have to fool their eyes. Remember, to catch a bass of a lifetime, use repeated casts and slow retrieves with lures that look and act very natural. Now here's a question a fella asked me recently. When it comes to fishing rods, are power and action the same? Well, not really. A rod's action refers to the amount of bend in the rod from the tip to the butt section. Now power describes a rod's overall stiffness or resistance to bend. It has nothing to do with action. Yeah, we got him somewhere. Just full of grass. Oh, you're gonna make me come to the back. I don't want to hurt you. Nice. Okay. Toodaloo. Thank you.
Bill Dance Outdoors is sponsored in part by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Rebel, Catch fish anywhere. And by Mercury Marine. Go boldly.
Today's Conditions Log is brought to you by Mercury Marine. Go boldly.
Got it on top. You through with yourself? I see. Come on back. You liked that, didn't you? Long old slanky baby. Yes, you are. Okay, here's a mighty good one about water quality on small waters. What do you consider to be the most important factor in the success of a small fishing lake? If you want your fishing lake or pond to be all it can be, you've got to have good water quality at the forefront of your management plan. First, water quality increases fish survival rates, and second, it makes for a healthier lake from top to bottom. Aeration creates a more enriched environment. It doesn't take much to make a lake look pretty, if that's what you want, but to make it fertile and very fishable, well, that requires management, and it starts with good aeration. By assuring good oxygen content, you prevent a lake from forming a strata. Basically, you make a great percentage of your lake productive for the fish we love to catch. You know, I couldn't agree more. Aeration is a health insurance policy of a sort. It can help prevent fish kills in those oh-so-hot summer months. It's counterproductive to grow all those wonderful fish and let them fall victim to poor water quality, something you could avoid by having a good aeration system. Is it a tight wiggle or a wide wobble? Sounds like a new dance step. Whatever, that's the question. Do you prefer a crankbait that wiggles or wobbles, and why? Well, both, and let me explain. Bass for sure show a preference in the way of crankbait swims, more times than you might believe. Now, I normally select tight wiggling lures for inactive bass and wide wobbling lures for aggressive warm water fish that are triggered by more of an active approach, let's say. Whoa, get out of that grass. In a trolling motor. Out of the trolling motor. Strong little old fish right there. Nice. You really want these blades to reflect. Throw them and pull them back against the sun. Where that blade is pulling it into the sun, you'll get a lot more reflection off the blade than you will pulling it against the sun. In other words, I'm throwing it right there. I've got it shallow right there. You can see it waking. and I'm pulling it directly toward the sun. The sun's shining directly on that blade, and boy, it's just reflecting. I can see it just throwing light every which way.
Today's show is brought to you in part by Quantum Rods and Reels. Quantum, performance tuned. Mystic Lubricants, lubrication domination. And Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Today's show is sponsored in part by Berkeley, catch more fish. Bill Dance exclusive rods by Quantum. And by Garmin. Bite your fish, not your fish finder. Today's equipment log is brought to you by Bill Dance exclusive rods by Quantum. Whether you're fishing for panfish, bass, catfish, or light saltwater, we have an action for you. Available at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
There he is. Good one. Where are you? Whoa. Thought he was further out than he was. You. Okay, quit all that. Man, I'll ease you up here. Good round bend hook. Okay. Long and lanky. Here we go home. I promise you, we're using Bass Pro Shops 1/2 ounce laser eye willow bladed spinnerbait. It's got a little Colorado blade right here and a big willow blade right here. This is a great combination using for what we're doing. We're just paralleling this grass line drop, throwing it up on the edge of it and working it, kind of waking it, and then gradually letting it drop as we get out toward the outer edge of the grass, and then just slow rolling it right along. It's putting out a tremendous amount of flash. And this blade is so much better than an Indiana or a Colorado because it has less water resistance. You can fish it deeper. It doesn't want to ride up on you. You can keep it deep. It spins extremely fast, puts out a tremendous amount of reflection. And that blade will cut through the grass so much better. If it hits vegetation, it just, like I say, it just kind of cuts through it. What do you look for in a good bait casting rod when you're on a fixed income? Well, when I look for one, I want a rod that's lightweight, sensitive, has good backbone. And when you think about it, I think most folks want the same, plus at a good price. And for a reel, one that's smooth, light, and has a good drag system, and is available in several models. Well, guess what? I've got one right here, the Bill Dance Special Edition. The rods are made of IM6 graphite, have D-ring guides, an EVA handle. They're super light and very sensitive. The reels have a drag system that are smooth as country butter and come with several of these Bill Dance Special Edition rods. They're really nice. Check them out at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Come on to the boat, old boy. Strong. We're gonna get back in that. Whoa. Oh, come on back here, pretty thing. Seems like a bulldog in it. He's talking about a pretty fish. That one. That's a nice one. Fat. Whew. Went home. That was one healthy fish. Yes, it was.
The Bill Dance question and answer of the week is brought to you by Bill Dance Exclusive Rods by Quantum. Whether you're fishing for panfish, bass, catfish, or light saltwater, we have an action for you. Available at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's.
Have you ever tried Berkeley's power bait for catfish? Yep. It's a highly effective attractant. You know, I've heard catfishermen talk about it for years, but I've never really tried it until now. I'm amazed. It's really powerful stuff that really works. It makes any bait taste and smell alive, and it's very easy to apply. Just flip the cap and squirt it on. Power bait, it really works.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Millennium Marine, a new class of comfort. And by Garmin Force Trolling Motors, fish with force. Closed captioning provided by PowerPole, the original shallow water anchor.
Today's product tip is brought to you by Garmin and their GPS map series, chart plotter sonar combos. With advanced sonar technology like Chirp and exclusive Panoptix all-seeing sonar, you'll spend less time finding your fish.
When it comes to enticing a fish to hit your lure, feeling the rush from the bite and seeing the catch up close, use nearly invisible Berkeley Trilene professional grade fluorocarbon. Incredible shock strength, abrasion resistance, and knot strength gives you the confidence to fight the fish with less concern for loss. The line's higher density helps it sink faster, causing less bow in the water and higher sensitivity. And all this will help you land more fish.
Come be a part of Bill Dance Digital. Join us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Follow us.
Saw him come up there and hit it. I got a tiger by the tail, plain to see. Oh boy, fish is bigger than I thought he was. Look at that little crazy. You wanna play crazy? I'll play with you. Ooh, he's a nice little. Yeah, you want to play crazy? I'll play. Oh, look at yonder. I'll play right along with you. Hello. You wasn't far from throwing it out. That's a tough little dude right there. And healthy too. Look at that. Yes, you are. Get back out there, crazy thing. Okay, now Bill, when it comes to spinning reels, is there one gear ratio to cover most fishing situations? Okay, now when it comes to gear ratios on a spinning reel, my choice is a 6.1 to 1. Now I believe this reel geared with this ratio covers most fishing situations. Now here's something that's very important. Gear ratios, well, they ain't worth a flip if the spool isn't filled to at least 80 to 90% of capacity. When it's not very full, it requires more revolutions of the handle to take up line. What's going on here? Well, your lure speed is going to be slower when you begin your retrieve after a long cast than it'll be when it gets near your rod tip. Bottom line is, no pun intended, your lure speed increases throughout the retrieve, even though your cranking action remains the same. This alone can have a major effect on your presentation and can be the deciding factor in success or failure. Hey, line size can also be a factor. Example, let's say you're using 10-pound test. The size of the spool or retrieve speed is not going to change much during the cast. However, if you're using 20-pound test or heavier, naturally the diameter is larger, so the spool size may be reduced in half on a long cast. Therefore, the retrieve speed increases as the lure approaches your rod tip. Another one coming right in behind it right there. Got it too. A better one too. Whoa, baby. Oh, come on back around here. Look at that big old head. Whoa, baby. Trying to get back in that moss. Whoa. Ah, strong. Get out of that grass. How fat he is. Woo! Let's go. Let's go bye-bye. You ready to go home? Well, like I said earlier, that's a good question. And we've answered some good ones today. Sorry we couldn't answer them all. Maybe next time. Until then, you catch one for me.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.
Thanks for watching Bill Dance Outdoors. Join us here again next week.
Now I've gone fishing with Bill Dance today.